My name is Emily Parker, and yes, I was once the girl everyone laughed at. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a stranger staring back at me, a girl covered in tears, shame, and loneliness. Every morning before school, I used to stand in front of that mirror, hoping somehow I'd look thinner, prettier, more like the girls everyone loved, but nothing changed. At school, I was the fat girl. In a cafeteria, people would whisper. At home, my stepmother called me lazy. My father barely looked at me. Even my little brother laughed when his friends made jokes about me. I remember one afternoon in the school gym, my classmates were taking turns jumping rope. When it was my turn, the rope got tangled around my legs and I fell hard on the floor. The laughter that followed still echoes in my head. I wanted to disappear that day. Every day felt like punishment for being me. I used to eat my lunch in the restroom, hiding from the world. I could hear girls gossiping about how ugly I was. They said I would never find love, never get a job, never be good enough. But deep down, I wanted to prove them wrong. I just didn't know how. One night, while scrolling through my phone, I came across a video of a woman who had transformed her life through sheer determination. She had once been mocked just like me, but she turned her pain into power. I remember staring at her glowing smile and whispering to myself, if she can do it, maybe I can too. That night, I couldn't sleep. Something inside me woke up. A fire, a promise. The next morning, I started walking. Not running, just walking. I didn't even have proper shoes, but I walked around the neighborhood park until my legs trembled. People still stared, some even laughed. But this time, I didn't care. I told myself, every step counts, Emily, every single step. Weeks passed, my body ached, but my heart began to heal. For the first time, I wasn't trying to be skinny, I was trying to be strong. Then I joined a small gym near my house. It smelled like sweat and metal, and everyone there seemed to know exactly what they were doing, except me. I was terrified. I wanted to run away. But then I met him, Coach Ryan. He didn't laugh. He didn't judge. He looked me in the eye and said, Emily, your weight isn't your weakness. Your fear is. Those words changed everything. Ryan started training me, slowly, carefully. He made me lift weights lighter than my school backpack, but it felt like lifting the world. Every drop of sweat was a tear leaving my body. Every time I thought I couldn't go on, he said, you've already survived worse. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. I began to feel stronger, not just physically, but inside. When I looked in the mirror now, I saw someone who was trying, someone who refused to give up. But life wasn't done testing me yet. One rainy evening, I came home from the gym to find my stepmother waiting with my packed suitcase by the door. She said, you're embarrassing this family. Go fix your life somewhere else. She kicked me out. I stood outside in the rain with nothing but my gym bag and tears streaming down my face. I had no place to go, no one to call, but strangely, I didn't feel weak this time. I felt free. I rented a tiny basement room with my savings from a part-time job. I kept working out. I recorded my journey on an old phone camera, posting small clips online, not for attention, but to remind myself how far I'd come. And then something unexpected happened. People started watching. Hundreds, thousands. They said my videos gave them hope. I couldn't believe it. The same girl who once ate lunch alone in a bathroom stall was now inspiring others. But that was just the beginning, because the biggest surprise of my life was still waiting for me. Something that would change everything I thought I knew about myself, my family, and the world around me. I still remember the night everything changed. I was sitting on my bed in that tiny basement room, editing one of my fitness videos. My phone buzzed with a notification. Your video just hit 1 million views. I froze. My hands started to shake. Millions of people had seen my story, my pain, my strength. And then the messages started pouring in. People wrote things like, "You gave me the courage to start again. Because of you, I stopped hating myself. Emily, you're my hero." For the first time in my life, I cried not because I was hurt, but because I was proud. That same week, a popular lifestyle magazine reached out to feature my story. They called it From Tears to Triumph, the story of Emily Parker. They wanted to put my photo on the cover. The girl who once hid behind oversized clothes and shame was now on the cover of a magazine. I stood in front of the mirror before the photo shoot, the same mirror that once reflected my tears. Now it reflected strength, beauty, and a smile that no one could take away. Months later, I was invited to speak at a women's empowerment event in New York. Hundreds of people sat before me as I walked up to the stage. My heart pounded, but I wasn't afraid anymore. I looked at the crowd and said softly, "There was a time I hated myself for the way I looked, but I learned something. You can't build your future if you keep believing in someone else's opinion of you." The audience clapped. Some cried. And at that moment, I realized I wasn't just Emily Parker, the girl who lost weight. I was Emily Parker, the woman who found herself. But destiny had one last twist. One evening, I received a letter from a law firm. It said I had inherited a property, a large estate and trust fund from my late grandmother. Tears rolled down my face as I read her words in the attached note. "My dear Emily, I always believed in you. You may not have been loved enough, but you were always worthy." That letter broke me and healed me all at once. A few months later, I returned to my hometown for a charity event. It was the same place where people once laughed at me. When I stepped out of the car, silence spread through the crowd. My stepmother stood at a distance, eyes wide with disbelief. The same woman who had thrown me out now looked ashamed to even meet my eyes. I walked up to her, smiled, and said, "You were right. I did fix my life. Thank you for the push." Then I turned away because I had nothing left to prove. Today, I own my own fitness studio, not to make people look perfect, but to make them feel enough. Every morning when I open the doors and see women of all shapes and sizes working hard, smiling, and believing in themselves, I know I've made it. Not because I became beautiful, not because I became rich, but because I became me, the girl who refused to give up. So if you're listening to my story right now, and you've ever felt unwanted, invisible, or unloved, remember my words. You are not defined by the way you look. You are defined by the way you rise. This is my story. I once was the girl they laughed at. Now I'm the woman they look up to. And I'll never forget the day I stopped hating my reflection and started loving my life.